Hello, welcome to another episode of Composting Bill. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than me just sitting in the chair and talking to the camera, I'm going to do a little bit of stirring on one of the compost bins. Now, both bins I've found out are showing very wet with the tools that I have, and although the bins will compost when they're very wet, and they're cold as well. So it's a wet, cold composting, and although it will work, it's not really what I want, because what I really want is some insect life. Now, one of the bins has a lot of insect life. The problem is it's ants, and I don't want them turning the compost bin into an ant colony. So unfortunately, I'm going to disrupt them by giving it a stir. Now, whether that will actually get rid of the ants or not, I don't know. But if I try and do that fairly regularly, then hopefully it will do something about it. Either way, let's see what happens. Now, the other compost bin, I am going to leave undisturbed, cold and wet, and compare the two. I have one minor problem that I'm going to sort out in the next clip, and that is which compost bin it is I'm going to turn, because I have two. One, the other side of this shed, which is further west than where I am now, so it's called west. And the bin here is called mid, because it's in between two sheds. So let's see what happens, shall we? And so this is mid, and although you can't see it, I'm going to try and get the what I was trying to do at that point was to get the Insta360 into the compost bin to show you the ants at work. But there was a problem. We'll talk about that in a bit. Right, so let's get the fork in there and get it. And actually, so this looks like some quite reasonable compost, which I find a little bit surprising. I'm wondering just how deep that goes. As you can see, the bin's full, and I dare say we probably shouldn't be putting whole apples in like that, should we? Really? I think to make them easier to compost, chop them down a little bit. So let me have a look and see if there's anything that I can do about that. It was at this point that I realised that my wife had been stood behind me for I don't know how long, watching me. I already know she thinks I'm mad. This, I fear, is just adding to it. Okay, so after a little bit of an interruption, here we are back again. Now I'm going to try break these apples down a little bit, because I think that whole apples are probably not appropriate. I don't know, tell me I'm wrong. But, and then I think what we're also going to try and do is take some out from the bottom. That's whether that's helping it or not, I don't know. Orange is difficult to get through the skin. I don't know if that's okay. That's giving that a good stir. That seems quite reasonable. So let's see what happens when we try and take something out of the bottom. Thing is, I think there is good compost in here, but it's mixed up with stuff that's not good, and getting it separated out is so that's Composting Bill's activities done for the day. Not too bad a result. 2 good tubs full, almost full of compost, and a half empty compost bin which is waiting to be finished off and topped up, and stuff that was freshly put in recycled to the top, which I'll do at some point in the future. Only one minor issue. I forgot to check the Insta360 camera, which meant that none of the footage that I filmed on it is of any use, because it was all filmed in slow motion. So that didn't work, did it? Anyway, we'll have another go at a point in the future. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers then, bye.